What's up everyone, it's Iceman Oz, aka Jay, and in today's video, I wanted to do something a little bit different. I got the urge to make this video off a comment I got on my Battlefield 2016 news video I made a while back. I'll pull it up here. Aiden Garcia left a comment talking about what he was predicting that would be in the game, one of which was 64 v 64 players. The other thing was more planes and vehicles, and the last thing was a World War II theme, which I've seen everybody be talking about. It's really just something where everyone needs to have a World War II game. We'll talk about that more in another video though. But today I wanted to focus really on the 64 v 64 player aspect. Now there are very few shooters that have that many players in a server. Immediately that comes to mind is games like PlanetSide, which have executed that very well. However, in a game like Battlefield, it's pretty much unheard of. In this theoretical scenario, we'd have 128 players on the field at one time. If you include the two commanders, that would be two more on top of that. One of the biggest frustrations I have with Battlefield 4 is the lack of finding players on the ground on Conquest on these very large maps. A lot of the time you'll find players in the vehicles and the infantry gameplay is pretty much thrown out the window and you're pretty much just running around for 5 minutes until you find a new opponent, and that is really a problem. Now, having 128 players instead of 64 is a little bit of a jump, you know, going from half the player count and doubling it, but I think it would be at least better in some scenarios than the current system. Now, if you had 128 players on, let's say, Operation Locker, then that would be an absolute disaster. No one would be able to get anywhere, no flags would be captured because it's just an absolute cluster. However, I do think this would be really good on maps like, let's say, Rogue Transmission, because right now there doesn't seem to be really an ebb and flow of the gameplay because, again, the vehicles really add a variance into how the games flow infantry-wise. Another thing to mention is that early on in the Battlefield 4 beta, they were actually trying out 80-player servers, even 74. They were ranging different things here and there, but they ended on the normal 64 players. So they are definitely trying to add more players to these maps. I believe that Battlefield 4's Conquest was originally intended for 80 players, but once they realized the servers weren't good enough, they held back on it. And to point out the obvious, if they do have 128 players servers, I can guarantee you 100% it will not be available for things like Rush and Team Deathmatch and Obliteration. This will be a strictly Conquest thing. Something I'd like you guys to do for me is let me know in the comment section below what you think about this idea. That being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, share, subscribe, and peace.